First, it's always too late to move out. It's always too late. It's always too late. Let me explain, but first listen to this. There's a girl I met who actually introduced herself to me. Seemed actually pretty interested off rip, you know. It was a while ago. Post lockdown, you know, all the gyms are gone. But we actually get reacquainted at another gym that I go to. She actually ends up going to the same one. She's someone I actually was really attracted to. I asked her out once, but I didn't know she had a boyfriend at the time, so that didn't go well, you know. But that obviously let her know that I was into her, at least in some regard. So later on, I found out she was no longer with that dude anymore, but we would see each other at the new gym post-lockdown, you know, kind of just be cool. Somehow, somewhere or another, we ended up getting into a conversation. We're just having like a face-to-face conversation about stuff, about life. And she asked me, somehow the conversation got to your average stuff, like, oh, so what do you do? Where do you live? Well, here's the sad part. I remember the moment when she told me, where do I live? I just told her the truth. I told her that I live with my parents. Keep in mind, I'm 28. Maybe I was 27 at the time. No, I was 28. Keep in mind, I'm 28. Where do you think the conversation went after that? It didn't go anywhere. Spoiler alert. So, This is why it's always too late. The opportunities that you're going to miss out on because you're not acting and because you're not doing what you know you're supposed to do. You are literally squandering your potential. You're squandering all the success or all the chapters of life that you could have opened up because you're lazy, because you don't act, because you are putting it off, because you procrastinate. All these things, they are literally ruining so many paths of your life that you could have had accomplished by now. See, there are so many things that because I didn't do them, there's so many things in my life that I know, deep down, I know that if I would have did the right thing, things would have just been better. But because we're always so focused on living in the moment or doing what feels right or, you know, being afraid to take action or not being confident enough, there are so many paths in your life that could have been in the future. They're literally deleted before they even happen. They're cut at the root. It's over. It's done. You can't go back. So this is one of those moments because you should have looked at it. You should have seen the look on her face. You should have seen. I mean, I picked up on it, but because I'm very perceptive at these things. But what I'm trying to explain is. This is what could have happened in my head, okay? And there are two options. Either the conversation would have gone further, and then maybe, you know, I could have drummed up a date or even another conversation to the second interview, because that's how it works with women. You know, you talk once or twice, like each other. That's just how it works for me. But because of me living with my parents. Do you see how I'm literally invisible now? I have no, it's rightfully so, by the way. Women who don't want to be with a dude who lives with their parents, that's totally fine. Like, why would you want to? I mean, I get if you're like in India in a different culture and that's just how it is. But here in America, no. You're supposed to be at a certain age and you're supposed to have a lot of your loose ends tied up by 28. You're almost 30. So that's fair. So because of my shortcomings of not moving out 10 years ago, I had to suffer the consequences. That's what I'm trying to explain. You see, and I know there are going to be people out there who are going to say, well, I mean, you don't know, it could have just been other reasons too. Yeah, it could have been. But here's the thing. What I did help motivate my mindset about that, about what happened, is the reason why I'm in this spot right now. It's the reason why I'm in this spot right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why I'm in this spot. Like I said, no, hold on, no. Yeah, it's a reason why I'm in this spot. My spot. My spot. No. Your motivation, your emotions, your whatever gets you going, whatever inspires you, it might be flawed. But the end result, so long the means that it was to the end, and the end is what? My own spot. 700 square feet, my own place. Nobody here. Me only responsible to myself. Me not having to answer to anyone else but myself and God, obviously. See, that motivated me. That got me out of my comfort zone. That made me really reflect. That made me think, all right, dang, okay. I totally saw that. That was totally plain to me. God totally revealed that to me in the moment. It was just that simple. There was no questions about it. See, it wasn't too hard of a lesson to learn, you know? Might have hurt my ego a little bit, but it didn't devastate me. But you don't want to get to the point where you're devastated, where it's literally too late. See, it's always too late. But what do I mean by that? Let's get into it. It's always too late to leave your home as a man. It is always too late. By the time you turn 18, if you're not out, you're in the red. You're in time debt. You're in opportunity debt. All that time you are literally wasting. You're wasting because you're not out. You got to get out. Don't let your parents tell you, oh, you need to get your degree, all that. No. You can do both. You can do both. But what's more, to me, a degree is not as important as being a man. I'm sorry. Because there's a lot of men out there who are literally hung on a string, or who literally shot themselves up to OD, or who blew their brains out with degrees. Why? Because they had no spine, they had no sense of morals, they had no character, they had no dignity, no sense of self-respect. They're all dead now because they're not men. They're a man by word, but not in deed. Because a man is responsible for his own surroundings, he's responsible for his sphere of influence, he's responsible for his actions. He takes accountability. He doesn't want to escape. He's not looking for a way out. He doesn't necessarily need a handout. It's okay to have help, but he's not relying on it. He's not letting other people enable him. You get what I'm saying? He's not overly emotional. All these things. A degree will never, ever give you. A degree will not give you that. You might be able to get all that stuff despite a degree. This is what I'm trying to explain. I'm going off on a tangent. Let me get back to it. It's always too late to move on. It's always too late. If you're 21, 22, 23, 25, whatever, you've been there for too long. And there's so much stuff that could have happened. There's so much stuff that would have happened. There's so many parts of your life that would have developed had you have moved out when you were supposed to. And here in the States, it's around 18. There ain't no excuse. I can literally sit here and say, all I would have had to do was take a second job, move to another state, get like $4,000 or $5,000, room up with somebody until I can springboard and to get to my own spot. There could have been so many ways I could have did it. I know deep down in my soul, I know I could have did it. But there are so many excuses that men intellectualize and they rationalize in their own head because they think they're so smart. They think they got it all together. No. All you're doing is you're proving to yourself that whatever you're excusing yourself of getting to manhood or of your rite of passage, that's just a way to stroke your sense of inaction. It's just meant to make you feel comfortable about being an idiot, about doing something stupid. It's like for instance, I know people right now that have literally $10,000 saved up, at least two that I can think of, and they have not left their mother's womb. They have not left their mom's tit. They still suck on the breast of their mother's tit. obviously metaphorically. But the comforts of their mother's domain, they have not left. These are not men. I'm sorry. And I understand they're a man by, Webster's definition, but not by principle, not by deed. They're not. To be a man means to be independent. To be a man, it means to be you're self-sufficient. To be a man, it means you're responsible for yourself. To be a man, it means you're accountable to yourself. You cannot be any of those things completely living with your parents. It is not possible. It is not possible. It's not possible. So I know I can't reach them. It's almost like they're whatever I tell them, it just rolls off the back of their out the back of their spine. Because in that sense, they don't have spines. In that sense, no, they don't. But I'm trying to reach you guys, whoever else is watching this video. If you know somebody who's still in that situation, show them this video, because I know that whatever I'm saying, it can get to the bottom of that person's soul and the bottom of that person's belly, and they can literally feel what I'm saying right now. You're in your mother's house? Come on, bro. It's unacceptable. It's too late. It's too late. But here's the good part about it. Here's the good part. You can still do it. But you got to have a plan of action. You got to set systems in place so that you can get out. But why? Why do it? Because where you're at right now, you're not developing. You're not moving. Nobody cares if you got some business scheme. Nobody cares about your ideas in your head about no. That's not as important. Your financial success is not as important as your manhood. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand. Making money and having nice stuff and even having a nice woman, if you're not a man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Men have to prioritize the very simple things. Men have to prioritize the very basic stuff because no one else will. Everybody in our society is chasing all the stuff that you're chasing. They're chasing money. They're chasing women. They're chasing success. They're chasing a promotion. They're chasing a degree. No. What's more important than all those stuffs combined, all those things combined, is being a man. Because without being a man, you can't sustain any of it. You can't bear the weight of any of it. You're not going to be able to deal with the drama, the adversity, none of that stuff. You will buckle. You will fold. You will collapse. How do you become a man? You become independent. You become emotionally sustainable, emotionally intelligent. You become responsible. You become accountable to yourself. So all the things I repeated. You cannot do that when you live with your parents. You cannot do that. Because it's almost like you're living your life in tutorial mode. And you haven't actually reached the beginning of the game yet. Because you're too stuck being able to restart and have no consequence to your actions. Your parents will always bail you out. That is not a way to live. That is not the correct way to build yourself. You cannot be in that environment. It's almost like saying, you know what, man? I really want to stop masturbating. Man, I really do. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hang around some porn stars. I'm going to go to the strip club. I'm going to do all the things that are actually working against me trying to stop masturbating. See, I want to be a man. I want to make a name for myself. I want to grow. And I'm going to put myself in my mother's house, in my parents' house. That is counterproductive to me doing that. Your mother, your father will always have compassion to enable you. They're always going to never leave you. Some in a previous generation would be like, no, get out. Those are the good ones. But our parents nowadays, they don't have the heart to do that. Their emotions or whatever, they just don't have it in them. You're working against yourself. You're working against yourself. Now, here's another thing. All this complaining, all the drama, all the pain and the hardship that comes with living with your parents, having to do what they say. Well, I'm not even going to get into that. That's going to be for another video. But look, because it's never too late, you have to do it as soon as possible. Because you've already missed your chance time and time again, years and years and years and years after 18, it's time to turn around and to have a different mindset about it and get it done in a different way. So, I mean, look, man, where I'm at right now in my life, I can speak how I speak because who I am and what I'm talking about is literally in alignment. But a lot of men can't do that. A lot of men can't do that. And I'm not perfect. But what I'm saying is I'm literally on my way. I'm on my way to becoming a man. And I say I'm just about there, but I'm not all there. But I'm telling you right now, I was less of a man when I stayed at my mother's house. So, peace.